Hey folks, Jessica here. I'm back with another Unite Fight video. So this is our third video in the series. If you missed videos 1 and 2, they're in the description in a playlist, so you can check them out all there. Today we're going to be talking about 5-star uncapping the Eternals. This is still Unite Fight related. The reason why we're not talking more about specifically the battle-y elements of Unite Fight is because we're in interlude right now, so we're not actually paired against an enemy crew. There's always an interlude after preliminaries. It's meant to be kind of a resting period because you probably went really hard during preliminaries, depending on what your crew skills were. This one lasts a day, so 7 a.m. January 19th to 6:59 a.m. January 20th GST. You're going to have to do some time zone conversion because I'm bad at that. And during this period, you can host all the battles, but since you're not actually fighting another crew, the honor doesn't really matter for your crew. If you are trying to place in individuals, like top 30k or something, then fighting during this period can be useful to keep your numbers up, but a lot of people just use it to rest, and that's fine. Also, if you're trying to get a ton of tokens to draw a bunch of stuff from the token draw, fighting during this period might be useful for you. Now, all that aside, 5-starring Eternals. Eternals got their 5-star kind of recently, like within, I want to say, the last year and a half or so. That number might be off, but when they got them, it was a huge power boost for them. All characters get really strong at 5-star compared to 4-star. Eternals especially do. They get massively more powerful, but the process to do it is very long. So first step, and if you don't know what Eternals are, again, videos 1 and 2, but they're just powerful characters that you can get from Unite Fight. Powerful SSR characters. So, yeah, how to start this? Okay, so if you want to 5-star an Eternal, you're going to have to get the Eternal, obviously. You're going to have to fully uncap them to 4 stars, and then you're going to have to get them to level 80 and do all their Fate episodes, that kind of thing. Once they're in that state, you're going to get a new Fate episode for them. And I'm going to do Overconfidence Thy Name is 5th, because it's just what I haven't done yet. And when you start the Fate episode, it's going to tell you need to equip the Revenant weapon that's associated with them. Element doesn't matter. I have 2 of these 5 soul staffs, so I'm going to go with the dark one. And also, important note here, weapon skills, summon auras, crew skills don't affect this quest. So, because of that, you don't necessarily need to take a summon that has an aura that matches what grid you're running, because it won't do anything. So instead, what I recommend is try and take a summon that has a beneficial call for you. So for example, if I took Hades just asleep, whatever. But if I took Lucifer has a heal and also a strength buff, so that is kind of useful. I might go with something like, I'm going to go with Alexiel because she has 100% damage cut. We'll see if that ends up helping. And also, if you're looking at my sub-skills, they're a little bit weird for Sage. Just going to skip this. Hearing that magical energy building up inside her is the cause of her body's plight, 5th challenges Pash to a duel in hopes of releasing some of that energy. Okay. So it's one-on-one fight. My skills are a little bit weird because I knew it was going to be a one-on-one fight. So I've taken skills specifically that I think will be useful in this fight. Since it's only a one-on-one fight, and you don't have teammates to rely on, you should tailor your summons, your entire summon deck if you want to go all in, and your sub-skills to be facing the opponent you have to fight. So I'm going to go ahead and buff myself with Rage, and I'm kind of Blinder. I don't know if you actually can Blinder. You sure can't. Alright, well, we'll just keep going. I'm not going to summon Alexiel yet, because these first rounds aren't too bad. Gonna smack her one more time. Let her hit me. Then I will heal myself. Oh god, my horrible multi-attack is killing me. I'm gonna go ahead and Alexiel one of these because I have 2 Alexiels. Her Oogie kind of hurts. Or you could just heal yourself. That's fine too, I guess. How unexpected that the healer would heal themselves. Should have seen that one coming. Oh god, this is gonna take for friggin' ever. Please, Fifth, stop. Can I sleep you or something? I think you might just be immune to status effects entirely. We're about to find out. You're getting an authentic experience because I haven't actually like done much research in the fifth fight. Okay, I think she has something at 60 or 50%, but we're just gonna eat it and then heal ourselves. God, my my double attack is so awful, or my multi attack. She's in break right now, so I'm trying to make the most of it. This will get her below 50, then she'll probably leave me? Or Sunshine? Okay, so Sunshine to heal herself. Oh my god, stop that at once. What do I want to cast? I am actually going to use Athena so I get the slow regen from it, because she's not doing much damage. Alright, I got a plan, I think. Let me just top myself off. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do like a charge attack on her, but I'm gonna go ahead and use Shiva, so like hopefully this like gets her super low. We'll see. Take that. Alright, here's the Big Bang. Getting banged by Fifth. Super awkward for everybody. Okay. Compulsively blind her even though it doesn't do anything. I mean, maybe it will land someday. Or never. I guess I'll just go fuck myself then. Oh my god, the backpack Big Bang? Are you serious? Stop being a dick, Fifth. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and Alexiel now, just in case she has another cheeky Big Bang when she gets lower. It might have been a terrible mistake. Try and sleep her. She's so low. Oh, there we go! The call got her! Good job, Hades. Okay, once you beat your Eternal, you'll get more story. Skip this. The spar between Passion and Fifth ends with Fifth successfully releasing some of her magical energy. Why is that so weird? That sounds so strange to me. Fifth tells the crew something holds the key to unlocking even greater power from the Revenant weapons. Click OK on that. And now you're gonna have to get, for your next quest, +1 level count, a Pure Soul Staff Soul. What the hell is that? Well, you're gonna get a Silver Relic. You get Silver Relics from... Oh god. Okay, so the thing you're gonna have to do to get that item, the Staff Soul, is get Silver Relics from Angel Halo. And I've already set this up because I am prepared for this video. Whenever you do Angel Halo, there is a small chance that you'll get a Nightmare Battle randomly popping called Dimension Halo. And what you do to get the silver weapons, in this case, for Fifth I would be trying to get the Silver Staff, but I actually don't need the Silver Staff because I already have the Silver Staff. I was just doing it for demo purposes. So let's pretend the person I thought was actually Sarasa. So we'll go and do Earth, because I do need her Silver Staff. Go and grab this summon. Okay, one cut later, because I totally lied to myself about something. Yeah, okay. So in order to get the weapon you need, which I just double-checked because I said something that was a complete lie, but you'll never hear it because I cut it out. You need the actual Eternal character that you want the weapon for in your party. So in this case, if I was going for a Silver Axe, I would want to bring Sarasa, which I have. If you have multiple Eternals in your party, it's going to randomize which one shows up. So try to have just the character you want in the party to guarantee you get the weapon you want. And how it works is you start Dimension Halo. And you're just fighting a giant Angel Halo thing, Dimension Halo. And this thing's actually pretty tough for like a newer player. Shouldn't be a big deal for my team, but if you were like not super built up, this guy can be a little bit difficult. So bring a strong team. Also, I think, yeah, you only get one elixir use, so you can fail this fight, which would be super annoying, because then you have to try and do a bunch of Angel Halos until it pops again. So I'm going to go ahead and pop Sarasa, hit it with ground 0. Get Air to beat the shit out of himself, punch yourself in the face, you piece of shit. Sorry. I'm sure Air likes me to talk to you like that. Okay, so Air's at 2 health, and I'm running empty Earth, which is why I'm doing this. And let me go ahead and just use the Titan Summon also. Everyone's super low, Alexios use her nuke, she's charged up, and let's beat up this thing. When you get this to 50%, you'll know if you set up your team correctly. You'll understand in just a second. Go ahead and use her damage cut, because I can. No! Damn it, Air. You weren't supposed to die. Alright, everybody's gonna Oogie this turn, which will transition to 50%. Almost definitely transition to 50%. Also, note you don't have a support summon for this, which is why my team isn't hitting as hard as normal. Wait, no, you do have a support summon. What am I saying? Forget I said that. That's a lie. You do have a support summon. What I meant to say is this one doesn't have an element, so you don't have elemental bonus here. And here you go. When you get to 50%, if you did it right, it will transform into the weapon of the character you're fighting, which is, I know, a little bit weird, but there it is, the three tiger axe. So now we're fighting a giant floating weapon, and it has different skills based on what weapon it is. Be careful at this stage if you're newer. The initial first 50% one's still a halo, not that bad, but when you get to this phase, potentially could get ugly, because like it does have a powerful charge attack. No, I missed jerk ass. Okay, I'm gonna summon Alexios so I don't take the hit from this Oogie. Realm of Ruination! Blah! Summon a Cat. Okay, should be almost dead after this. I think it has a trigger at like 20% or 10% or something. Maybe it's 10%. Maybe it doesn't have a trigger. Maybe I'm just lying about everything today. Can go ahead and assume it does have a trigger though and use Electro Shield again. Ooh, maybe I'll actually kill it. Okay, yeah, I think it has a 10% trigger, but it doesn't matter because we skipped it. And then you'll get drops. So, if you haven't gotten your silver weapon yet, what you actually get is Silver Axe Shard. What the hell is this? Okay, so now that we beat the Dimension Halo and we got our Silver Shard, specifically we got the Axe Shard, you're gonna have to go to the store, go to Treasure Trade, go to Quest Items, and then you can filter for Relics, and that will bring up the Silver Relic trades. All these take specific shards specific to the weapon. So Silver Sword Shard, example for the sword. I got an Axe Shard from that fight. I got 1, so I don't have enough to get the axe yet. So yeah, basically it's gonna take. You're gonna have to get 10 shards to get 1 of the weapon, but you're not done. because you need to fully uncap it, and they don't come fully uncapped. And how do you fully uncap it? Well, you get 3 more of the weapon. I know, I told you, this is a very involved process. So when you get, why is the numbers hard? When you get 3 of the weapons, you'll be able to take it to 3-star. And then you'll have to go to the actual weapon and do the uncap option on it. And then it's going to take a whole bunch of quartz. It takes 300 of each quartz in order to 4-star uncap it. So fire quartz, water quartz, earth quartz, wind quartz, light quartz, dark quartz, 300 each. It's a lot, I know. I want to say it will also take 300 of the stone that the weapon takes. So like if you're uncapping the sword, then 300 sword stones, for example, plus all that quartz. This is not a cheap process. If you want to know how to get quartz, best way is just reduce SSR summons. You can reduce any summon. I think only like SSR summons and SR summons that are from gacha will get you quartz. Could be wrong about that, but that's the best way. The best way is to reduce SSR summons that are from gacha, because those get you the most quartz. But it's going to take a lot. So you do all that, and you've now uncapped it to 4 stars. Now what? Now you have to turn it into a gold relic. Oh, by the way, I'll just say this. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to uncap these, because I got 1 shard from that fight, and you basically need 40 to get 4 copies to fully uncap it. However, you do have a small chance, I want to say it's like 1 in 30 in my experience, of getting the weapon to drop, the entire whole weapon to drop from the Dimension Halo. It's just random. If you get that, that's a huge like time saver, because it lets you skip 10 shard pieces. You could, I hesitate to even mention this, but I'm going to mention it so you don't do it. You could, in theory, use a Damascus bar to uncap the weapon. Don't do that, because Damascus bars are far too precious to actually spend wastefully like that. It would just take some time. And honestly, it's not really that bad. Just do Angel Halo whenever you got time. You need the fodder probably anyways to level stuff up. And it'll probably take a day. If you go at it real hard to get the weapon, but there you go. Save your Damascus for important things. Once you do all that, fully uncapped to 4 stars, go to the Revenant Weapon tab. I'll show you the staff, because mine is almost ready to go. Here's the silver weapon, fully capped to 4 stars. You're going to have to now do this part. So get it to 150. You're going to have to have 1 of each of the element rusted weapons. So if you forgot how to do the rusted weapons, let me see if I have one. Like if I just take this bow, for example, I can element change it through the same menu. I have to fully uncap it, get to max level, etc., and then spend some materials to change it to an element. This part's not really that hard. It's just you need to get a lot of bows. The hardest part about this is getting enough of the same rusted weapon, because you're going to have to get 6 fully uncapped rusted weapons of the same type. You can use steel bricks for it, and steel bricks are actually super cheap and easy to get, so if you want to use steel bricks, you can. Otherwise, you can just grind a lot and get rusted weapons over time. That's totally fine, whichever you want to do. So, here we are. I have uncapped, I have element change 6 stabs. I need a gold bar, so yes, gold bar, like I said, precious. 10 silver centrums. This can be another tricky bit, because 10 is a lot, and silver centrums are still not that easy to get. Best way to get silver centrums are going to be hosting Grand Order. You can get them from, like, joining someone's, I don't know, Rose Queen has a low chance of getting you it, and I think you can also get them, well, you definitely can also get them from Ultimate Bahamut. Grand Order is going to be your most consistent way of getting them, but whatever you do, get 10 of them. Oh, also, you can trade for 3 a month with the horns you get from Grand Order, which you can get by trading feathers in. So that's another option. You're going to need 10 Damascus Crystals. This is a super annoying part. I don't know why it's set up like this, because you cannot use Damascus bar, even though 10 Damascus Crystals is a Damascus bar. You have to use the crystals. And you get the crystals from events. You usually get 3 per event. If you're not familiar with them, you're going to need 10. So, like, if you don't have 10 of these just sitting around, save them up now. Also, if you are if you're sitting on a pile of these, like, and you're going to turn them to Damascus bars, don't until you actually need the bar, because you cannot change them back. So, like, if you change this to Damascus bar, then you would have to get a whole 10 neo crystals because you can't change the bar back into crystals. So yeah, so we'll take 10 of those. 5 legendary merits. You can get this through treasure trade. It's under the, I'll show you in a second, but it's on treasure trade. And then you need 30 distinctions of the class that's related to the character. So Funf is a pilgrim. She's a healer. So we'll need pilgrim distinctions. 30 of them. You get those from prestige pendant trades. I think you get 30 in a month, so this one shouldn't be a big deal. And here's the big one, the one that hurts the most and also like really annoyed people when they first found out they had to do it. You need these 5-star you need these golden fragments. They're specific to the weapon you want to make. So the 5-star one is obviously the staff because it's the 5 soul staff. The 6 ruin fist, the one to get 6, is a 6-star fragment, etc. You need 100 of these. So how do you get those? Well, this is gonna pain you. Okay, one cut later, and I apologize for all the cuts. I try to do these in as few takes as possible, but this topic is way too convoluted to nail in one take. So yeah, here we are. How do you get the relic fragments, the gold relic fragments? Well, you need to go to one of the weapons you've made, the Revenant weapon. So example, I made the dark... Where is it? The dark 5-soul staff to summon Funf. This is the specific weapon I actually made. This is the exact one I used to actually summon her in the first place. This is fully uncapped all the way, like all the way through the weapon store to the point where you spend the gold bar and then you actually get the character. This is gonna hurt, but you have to reduce it. That's why I said not to get attached to those weapons. When you reduce it, you'll get 50 fragments. You might notice that you need 100 fragments, not 50. You have to make 2 of these and reduce 2 of them. I know, I said this was going to hurt. So you've got to fully uncap 2 Revenant weapons of the same type. So 2 stabs in this example in order to get 100 fragments, which is what you need to make the golden relic. There is one other way. I'll show you real quick. Alternatively, what some people do, and you know, if you want to do this, I'm not going to judge you, but I don't, because honestly it takes a lot of time. This is not a fully upgraded staff. I haven't gotten it all the way through the upgrade path yet. I think I just element changed it, actually. Once you element change the weapon, you can reduce it, but only for 5 measly fragments. So you're going to have to reduce 10 of these in order to get 50. So the choice is, do you want to make 10 of these fully fully uncapped and then element changed, or do you want to spend a gold bar? I lean towards gold bar, but like if you want to do that, totally feel free. It's going to take 40 of the relic to fully uncap 10 of them. So if you ever hear the term 40 boxing, what people are talking about is clearing this draw box 40 times to get 40 copies of, like, for example, the sword here, because then I could combine them all together to uncap 10 of them. Then I would still have to upgrade them to the point where they're all element changed, which does take a lot of materials also, don't forget that part. Once you do all of that, you'll have 100 fragments. Now when you have 100 fragments, you go to the store, Revenant Weapons, and yeah, like I said, from this menu you can upgrade the silver relic into a golden staff relic. It's going to take all these mats. Now, that's not the end, because you don't need you don't need a golden staff relic in order to start the fight. You need a pure staff soul, or a pure bow soul, or a pure fist soul, whatever the fight specifically you want to do requires. So let me just show you. So, for example, pure staff soul. You only need it the first time you start the fight. Where do you get a pure soul? I have one for a bow. Well, you know that gold relic that you just bled so hard to make? You reduce it. It reduces into the weapon soul of the specific weapon you want to do. Yeah, it hurts a lot. But, you know, 5-star Eternals are totally worth it. So now what? Well, now you're going to have to do a special story mission. So let me insert another cut here in case that this goes terribly awry. Okay, so now that I've started the fight, you can get a story bit, a Fate episode bit, where it talks about what you're actually doing. Basically, all the characters, all the Eternals will have to fight their Revenant weapons. So in this case, I'm fighting the bow. Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's what you do, because the Revenant weapons are sentient. Okay, so the bow. This is also definitely the first time I fought this. I definitely didn't just die to this thing and then cut it out. Don't look at me like that. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. So normally I would try and wait until I oogie of her in order to get Bring the Thunder, which turns Clincher into Paralyzed. But the last time I tried that, in the attempt that never happened, is it resisted the Paralyzed and then killed me. It was real ugly. So I'm just gonna use Clincher for the damage now. So if you're doing Toyan's one, you can wait for the Paralyze if you want, but I'd probably recommend just using Clincher immediately. Okay, I'm breaking it here, so it's not going to oogie, and that's good, because it is going to oogie when it hits 50%. And it's going to hurt. Oh, a hell of a lot. It's killing you that you don't really multi-attack in fights because you don't have a grid to give you the multi-attack. Also, unlike the fight with a... What was that? Okay. Now, since I only need one turn to oogie, I will actually wait until I oogie to use Clincher. And this time it's totally gonna land, right? Okay, so once you oogie, and if you've never used Song Toyan before, the way Paralyze works is it only triggers off of the Clincher after you oogie. You'll see, oogie will give you the buff, Bring the Thunder, which turns Clincher into a Paralyze. This Paralyze needs to land, or this thing's gonna kill me again. I mean, for the first time ever. It sure didn't land! Okay, pray for me, because if this thing gets another oogie off, it's gonna be bad news. No bueno. I did break it though, so maybe I can kill it during this break phase. Oh damn. Ha! I dodged your pathetic attack. Nice shot for a clown. I'm basically the best. Oh god, please kill it. Oh, thank fuck. So yeah, these fights can be a little bit tricky depending on which weapon you're fighting, but you know, it was fine. I had the whole time. Definitely one. That was definitely the first attempt. I definitely didn't wipe once doing this. You definitely believed me. Dwayne can now be fully uncapped. Yeah. So, what a time to be alive. I'm just gonna go ahead and click this, or read this here, so you get to see Twain's thing. Spoilers. Too easy. Twain shoots down 2-crown bow's magical arrow and counterattacks. Twain's arrows splinter against the golden bow, slamming against the wall. Well met, you have proven yourself. Twain walks up and grasps the 2-crown bow, which is once again still. None can rival a true ruler. The only place for you is the summit. Are you talking about my next challenger? That will take me one step closer, right? To being a monster? Indeed, you must shoot down your next target, which is none other than the name that binds you. Shoot it down and become the one true ruler. I see. You're gonna fight Silver, aren't you? So you're telling me to prove that I'm the strongest Eternal, right? The Eternals are nothing but a bow, powerless without its arrow. You, yourself, are the arrow to be fired through all who stand in your way. Got it. What are you saying, Twain? Why would you want to become a monster? Yeah, aren't the other Eternals your friends too? but Toyin doesn't seem to hear the words of Pash and the others, and she flies off. Hoping to find out what happened to her, they head to the Knick-Knack Shack, where the weapon was reforged. The true nature of the true crown bow. Well, I'm not exactly sure about that myself. All I know that it was made around the time of the war, but you are aware of that. I had a feeling you'd say that. I certainly didn't expect the bow to start talking. Who would have thought it had a personality? Yeah, now Toyin has a really scary look on her face. She started saying all kinds of scary stuff about becoming a monster, too. Hello, Silva. How nice of you to show up. Silva is picking out ammo Silva just happens to be picking out ammo at the counter while we're talking about her girlfriend. Silva was picking out ammo in the corner of the shop, suddenly looks up. What was that about, Toyin? Are you worried about her, Silva? Yeah, because you're gay. Yeah, can you fill me in on the details? I guess so, but do you actually get along with her well enough to care? Well, let's just say we have a history. Did she really refer to herself as a monster? She did. It's odd. All she did before was have fun with us. It seemed like she forgot all about that monster stuff. Yeah, good job, Silva. It's your fault. I guess I owe you an apology. That's all my fault. Well, call it. Really? Silva responds with a deep frown. What could have happened between her and Toyin? When Silva hears that Toyin has been possessed by the two-crown bow, she tightens the grip on her rifle and closes her eyes against the pain. Alright, so cliffhanger, what happens next? Well, what happens next is you 5-star uncap your Eternal, because now you can. But it's going to require more materials. Oh, what a wild ride we're on. Never ends. Okay, let's go over to Twin. Now, should have the uncap option for it, and I do. What does it take? A whole shit ton of materials, obviously. It's gonna take 30 of the centrum that comes from the specific element that they are. It's gonna take 2 bright spirits or murky spirits, depending on which ones you can get. These come from the treasure shop. They require a bunch of anima, so twin elements, Neza, Apollo for the bright spirits. It's gonna take these grimoires, which come from co-op. They're going to take the element that the character is, or a mix if they're light or dark. So light or dark would take, what is this? I think it's fire and wind. It's going to take 100 rainbow crystals. These are not that hard to get. And then 100,000 rupees. I don't have all these, but I will do this later. Once you do that, you can raise their level cap. But you might be wondering yourself, but wait, we left on a cliffhanger. What the hell happens next? Well, I'm glad you asked. That next bit will happen at level 100. So once you get the character to level 100, you unlock the final Fate episode for this. The Eternals, this is why I keep on saying the Eternals are really cool, because they're super involved process that has a lot of lore behind it. And it's worth it in the end. You need to get to 100, and then you do the Fate episode. And during that Fate episode, you're literally going to fight every single Eternal one-on-one as this Eternal. So, Toyin is going to take on Six. She's going to take on Saffron, Anre, the whole batch of them. And I want to say that when you're on that part, which maybe I'll just do a video for fun showing me doing it, but if you die to any of them, it does checkpoint you, so you don't have to start the whole run over again. So that's good at least. But those fights aren't that hard, to be honest. Once you do all that, you get the exciting conclusion to Toyin's story, where she and Silva kiss, I'm assuming. And you unlock her super ability. All the Eternals have a super ability, and this is part of the reason why it's so important to 5-star them. These start locked, but after 10 turns they'll unlock, and you can use them. Hers is to extend all debuff durations, and also multiple hit bonus damage based on the number of foes debuffs. The main thing is a debuff extension. This is when Paralyze gets broken, because you hit the thing with a 67 Paralyze, and then you hit this ability and it extend it by 90 seconds or something. Numbers might be slightly off, and you paralyze the thing for 3 minutes. This is Toyin's thing. This is what makes her essential for raids. Alternatively, I'll give you another example. Where are you, 6? 6s, which I have unlocked. 6 Rune Enlightenment. While this is up, he dodges all attacks. All of them. Every single attack. And he attacks twice per turn for 4 turns. It's so much damage. But yeah, that is why you want to take the Eternals all the way to 5-star. So now I've got to edit all of these clips together because this was a lot to talk about. But in summation, you're going to need to get the Eternal. Get them to 80. You're going to have to do the Fate episode where you fight them one-on-one as your main character. Then you're going to have to acquire a fully uncapped silver relic that corresponds to the Eternal. You get those by doing Angel Halo, which will randomly proc a nightmare encounter called Dimensional Halo. You go into Dimensional Halo with the character you're trying to uncap on your team. At 50%, Dimensional Halo is going to turn into a giant floating weapon. Beat it up. If you get lucky, you'll just straight up get a weapon from it. If you're, if you have fairly normal luck, you'll get a shard from it. You need 10 shards from the shop to buy 1 weapon. You need 4 weapons, unless you're crazy and use Damascus bar to uncap them. You need 4 weapons to fully uncap that weapon. Once it's fully uncapped, you go to the weapon store and Revenant weapons, and you click on the silver weapon. It's going to tell you need a whole shit ton of materials in order to turn it to a gold relic. Those materials, just in summation, it's going to be a gold brick. I know it hurts. 10 silver centrums, 10 Damascus crystals, not an ingot, has to be crystals, 5 legendary merits, 30 class distinctions of the character's class. You're going to need 1 of each of the rusted weapons that has been relic changed into each of the 6 elements. Element changed, rather. And then you're going to get 100 Revenant weapon fragments specific to that character. So if you're doing 6, you need the 6-star fragment or whatever it's called. Funf will be the 5 fragment, and then like Twain was the 2 fragment. You get those by reducing the fully upgraded Revenant weapon, which will get you 50, and you need 100. So you need to reduce 2 fully upgraded Revenant weapons that match the character. Or you could make 10 element changed Revenant weapons. All you take those 2 is element change phase, but you need 10 of them, which means you gotta get 40 from drop boxes in order to uncap them all the way. Once you do all of that stuff, you make your golden relic finally, and then you reduce it. Because Sicacast is mean. And then once you reduce it, you get the soul of the character's weapon. So 6 is like the 6/5 soul or something. You take the soul, and then now you can start the Fate episode where the character will fight their weapon. You beat their weapon, and at that point you can 5-star uncap them, but that is still going to take materials. That is going to take something like, 30 centrums of the element of the character. So 6 would be Altar's element, Altar? Aether? The dark centrums. It's going to take 30 dark centrums. It's going to take the same element urn, so 10 dark urns in 6's case. It's going to take either bright spirits or murky spirits, which you get from treasure trade, which take animas to get. It's going to take 2 of those. Then it's going to take either 30 grimoires of the character's element, or if, like 6, they're dark or light, it's going to take a mix. So it's going to take, in his case, 15 water grimoires, 15 earth grimoires. It's going to take 100 rainbow prisons, and then 100,000 rupees. And then they're 5-star. But you're not done. You've got to take them to level 100. When you take them to level 100, and their skills, by the way. I mentioned that they unlock a super skill at 100. Their skills actually all get better in that period between 80 and 100, so they're going to get much more powerful in addition to the ultimate skill. But when you get in the 100, you unlock the conclusion to their story, and you're going to have to fight every single one of the Eternals one-on-one as this character that you're trying to unlock the skill for. When you beat them all, you will get their ultimate ability, and they'll be level 100, and then you're done. Until they let you 6-star an Eternal or something. This has been a lot to talk about, and I've got to do a lot of editing to get this video together. But yes, if this has been helpful, please check me out on Twitter. Please take a look at my Patreon. If you spread the word about these videos, that would be super helpful for me. Also, my Twitch is down below. I stream a lot of stuff. It's not all Granblue Fantasy, but sometimes I stream Granblue Fantasy. Just check me out on Twitch and you'll know from the notifications. And links to a summation of everything we've talked about, which is so much, in the description down below. So yeah, if you like this, smash that like button, smash the shit out of that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Which will probably be tomorrow, to be honest, because I love you guys, and I'm giving you all the content, apparently. And we'll talk more about the actual finals battles in United Fight. Until then, I'll see you next time, and good luck on your journey to 5-star your Eternal. It's a long one, but it's worth it. And it's not about the destination, it's about the friends you make along the way.